Hi, I'm Leah James, your host for the Leah James Show. Hello, everybody. The Leah James Show will provide insight about the impacts of trauma. We will talk about how to cope through trauma and how trauma can go unidentified. We will share various types of trauma and how understanding different types of trauma empowers us to heal. How we cope through it is how we can live through the traumatic experiences in our lives. Stay tuned.
Back in '98, 3 collegiate wrestlers died. They had to change the way they were allowed to cut weight. Just about 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago, a 17-year-old girl went to go cut her last 5 pounds for an amateur Muay Thai fight. She wasn't even getting paid for it. It was amateur. And nobody went with her, and by the time they found her, it was too late. Same thing happened. Her heart stopped. She fell on the side of the road. And so it's extremely dangerous, and it just doesn't make any sense. You know, when you do have the advantage of, say, your opponent doesn't cut weight and you do, and you're the bigger, stronger guy, but nowadays pretty much everybody's cutting weight. So you got 2 guys that weigh 230 that are cutting to make 205, and then they get back in the cage at 230, but now they've been depleting themselves for the last 3 weeks to a month. They're going to gas out. They're tired. They're like, you know, when I fought that night, I was literally hallucinating. The cage was going like this, whoa, whoa, like it was really. It was just not very smart. I was hard-headed and ignorant, but, you know, I learned from it. But now it's too late because now the state banned me. I can't fight anymore. So that, you know,
Well, again, I definitely like to appreciate you being so transparent, talking about it. So after that incident, let's talk about what are some things you started engaging in and doing after you passed out for 5 minutes. Your heart started beating for 5 minutes.
Yeah. My heart stopped beating for 5 minutes. They gave me CPR, and then they hit me with a defibrillator. The first time my heart came back, and then it stopped. They had to do it again, and then it stopped again backstage. But then once they got me to the hospital, I was okay. I immediately, the doctor said I couldn't have any physical activity, I think, for 2 months or 3 weeks. I can't remember exactly how long it was, but...
Okay.
So obviously I took it easy for about a month, and then I went and saw my doctor. He cleared me, said there's nothing wrong with me. It was simply from cutting weight. I saw another doctor because I had sponsors from fighting, and I saw another one. He said the same thing. You're 100% healthy. There's nothing wrong with you. And they both tried to call the state and get it overturned. The state wouldn't play with it. They're like, no, he's suspended for life for combat sports. So what I did was I got back into jiu-jitsu, and I can still compete in jiu-jitsu, so that kind of gave me something. Right. But honestly, it wasn't enough. Like, I wanted to fight again, and so I went through some pretty bad depression. And then the whole COVID shutdown happened, and I was day drinking and started smoking cigarettes again. It was just really bad, and I just recently, like, I want to say 2 or 3 months ago, finally was able to pull myself out of that situation.